Students, let us revise the second chapter of history, class 8 from trade to territory. The chapter is all about a trading company, how it became a political power in India. East India Company was a kind of mercantile trading company. It is an expertise that makes a profit primarily through trade, buying goods and selling them at higher prices. The company ventured across the oceans and looking for new lands from which it could buy the goods at a cheaper rate and sold them at a higher prices. Because of this only, East India Company came to India with the charter. Charter means a royal order or a kind of license which is given by the Queen Elizabeth first. This charter granted sole right to the company to trade with the eastern countries, especially with the India. The charter enables the company to trade and to acquire new territories without any competition. Most of the time, these foreigners were attracted by the Indian spices, cloths, as well as the indigo. Is that clear? Yeah. The countries, European countries like Portuguese, French, Dutch, Britain, they came to India as a trader, but except Britain, other three were in India only in few areas. They were limited only in few areas. Britain or the British East India Company in the beginning as the trader, they came here, start the trade, and then they start occupying the territories also. This chapter is all about this competition. First of all, about the competition among the European countries. The major reason for the fierce battle or competition among the companies, the trading companies, was that all the companies required the same goods and material at cheap rate from India. That is why they have the tough competition by waging wars, sinking rival ships, blocking roads, fortifying factories, and so on. After that, East India Company began trade in Bengal. How they started the trade in Bengal? It is because of one royal farman which is given by the Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. According to this farman, which is issued in the year 1667, that to trade duty free in Bengal, and this farman caused the enormous loss of revenue to the Nawabs of the Bengal. As a result, conflicts were there between the Nawabs and the British East India Company, and Britishers were able to entered in the political scene in India. They set up the factories near Bengal, especially nearby the river Hooghly. See in the picture 1651. After that they start fortifying the areas in Kolkata and stop Indians to do certain works like the minting of the coins like this. Now, how trade two battles? How these Britishers started their trade and then how it led to the battles. Aurangzeb's farman granted the company the right to trade duty free which caused enormous loss of revenue to the Nawab of Bengal. The Nawab the Nawab refused to grant company concession and demanded large tributes for the company's right to trade in Bengal. He denied company's right to mint coins and stopped it from extending its fortification. मीन्स वो जो अपना एरिया बढ़ा रहे थे उसको बढ़ाने से मना कर दिया. The Nawab seized the English factory at Qasim Bazar and William Ford. These conflicts finally led to the Battle of Plassey. So what is there in Battle of Plassey? After the death of Aurangzeb, the Bengal Nawabs asserted their power and autonomy. These Nawabs refused to grant the company concessions and other trading privileges in Bengal. Now, the company started supporting Nawab's rivals for the throne and interfering in the court politics, because in India earlier these rulers have very grand and lavish courts. Sirajuddaulah attacked the British factory, captured the English officials, seized the warehouse, blockaded English ships, and captured the Fort William. On hearing the news of the fall of Calcutta, company officials in Madras sent forces under the command of Robert Clive from Madras Presidency. This Robert Clive came to Calcutta. The unresolved conflicts between the company and the Nawab Sirajuddaulah finally led to the Battle of Plassey. In the year 1757, the company involved Mir Zafar, the commander-in-chief of the Bengal army, and promised him the throne if they won the battle. Mir Zafar betrayed Sirajuddaulah and the Nawab lost the war and was deposed. As promised by the Robert Clive, Mir Zafar was made the new Nawab of Bengal in 1757. The Battle of Plassey became famous because it was actually the first major victory by the company which won in India. Is that clear? The Battle of Plassey actually paved the way for the Britishers to sit here in India, and then the later Nawabs. Then these later Nawabs became the puppet Nawabs. They became the puppet Nawabs. After the defeat at Plassey, Sirajuddaulah was assassinated and Mir Zafar was made the Nawab. The company was still unwilling to take over the responsibility of administration. Their main motive was only to earn money, but work has to be done by someone else. Its main objective was to expand the trade. Soon the company discovered that even the puppet Nawabs were not always as helpful as the company wanted them to be, because time to time these puppet Nawabs also rebel against the British East India Company or revolt. Though these Nawabs had to pay huge revenue every month, the company wanted more money to finance its war and meet the demands of the trade and its other expenses. Having failed to work with puppet Nawabs, Clive declared that we must indeed become Nawabs ourselves. we must become Nawabs ourselves. And finally, in the year 1765, the Mughal emperor appointed the company as Diwan of the provinces of Bengal. Is that clear? And the remaining part will be discussed in the next session.